So today I'll be joined on the Star Sport podcast this week by Cork hurler Shane Kingston as the Munster Championship comes swiftly around, and obviously Cork are league champions as well, which is obviously great to see. I suppose first of all, Shane, I have to ask you about the league triumph over the last few days, the win over Tipperary last Sunday. The camp is in a good spot, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose it was nice to get a bit of silverware the other day. It's been a while. But yeah, look, I suppose it's such a quick turnaround to championship. You're try and embrace as much you can at the time, and forget about it then and move on.
And I suppose as well, like with all the hype kind of around the Cork team at the moment, some people are saying it's your All-Ireland favourites. Do you feel pressure inside the camp at the moment?
Not really, to be honest. We know there's a lot of outside noise, but like, we're staying focused internally, keeping that circle tight, keeping the outside noise out. There's a lot of people talking, a lot of people kind of jumping on the bandwagon, but it's kind of irrelevant to us, and leave them at it. We'll stay focused on ourselves and train hard over the next couple of weeks, and maximise the time we have together.
I suppose with the Munster Championship coming up as well, the first game off against Clare and Ennis, like the last game, obviously in Ennis, between two sides, he scored 6 goals. It went pretty well for you. But this Munster Championship game coming up, it's a whole different ball game. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I suppose there's a massive difference between league and championship. We don't have a good record going up to Ennis over the last number of years. Obviously there was the victory there a number of weeks ago, but it was a league game. So we haven't beaten Clare in championships 2021. So it's a pretty bad record. So we know that there's a massive task ahead next week up in Ennis. So we're just going to put ourselves in the best position over the next kind of 5 or 6 sessions going into that game.
Looking at the Munster Championship as a whole, would you describe it as one of the toughest championships in the GAA at the moment? You have 5 teams very, very competitive with each other, and it's very, very difficult to get out, even with a top 3.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose the competitiveness between the 5 teams is mad. I suppose a lot of times it's just a puck of a ball, as we saw over the last number of years, that you nearly need that bit of luck to get out of Munster, and then I suppose things can kind of take off from there, really. But I suppose the biggest thing is getting out of Munster, really.
And you look at even your home games against Tipperary, Waterford. In your opinion, are they must wins in many ways, considering that the opponents that are coming up away from home in Limerick and Clare?
Haven't really thought about it like that. I suppose the focus for us really this week and next week is just looking at the Clare game, and play the Clare game and then focus on the Tip game. So I haven't really thought about the home or away games. I've just looked at it as the next game up, and kind of look at it from there, really.
Look at the last few games, like Cork have scored 6 goals against Clare, 4 goals against Galway, 3 goals against Tipperary. Like, the goal getting in this team over the last few games has been brilliant, to be fair. Like, what has Pat done to kind of change your mindset in going for goals more often?
I think we were always kind of creating goals, really. As I was saying earlier, the goal creation was always there over the last, even as long as I've been involved, kind of last 8 or 9, 10 years. It was always there when we analysed it, creating a lot of goals every game. It was probably the efficiency of it was in question. Probably didn't convert them enough, which is something that I suppose fellas have probably worked on individually. I haven't really put too much emphasis on it in training, but I suppose the efficiency of it has gone up, and an extra 1 or 2 goals a game there, and things start kind of totting up.
And even when the first goal went in the last against Tipperary, you kind of had the feel that the crowd were getting behind Cork. Every 50-50 ball, you were going to win. And every time you went up the field, you looked like you were going to score a goal as well. Do the fans from the stands kind of feed onto the pitch in a way that you feel more confident as players to deliver in a Cork jersey?
I'd say, like, not more confident, but it's obviously great to have so many fans there. And, it's, I suppose, the noise and everything is just brilliant. And even after the game, the way the fans kind of swarm the pitch, we've amazing support, which is brilliant. And I suppose when in the tight knit games, when you have that kind of 16th man, roaring you on, it is that extra element that can kind of drive you on a bit as well.
And even over the last few weeks, it's been revealed that nearly all Munster Championship games are going to be sold out as well, even with big stadiums like Páirc Uí Chaoimh holding over 40,000 as well as that as well. How pleasing is it from a player's point of view to have so much support behind you?
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's having that fan base is exceptional. Then it also brings about the people plaguing you for tickets then as well. So that's another issue. But it's brilliant. As I said there, like having everyone being able to come onto the pitch after. Does somebody say there was about 10,000 on the field after? I think we witnessed it last year as well against Limerick. In the Park Queeve game. So it's brilliant. Like, and it's the players and everyone amongst the group appreciates it. So yeah, it's have to keep going now and doing it for them and doing it for the group and our families and stuff.
You talked about kind of the difference between league and championship earlier in chat as well. Like, do you think the intensity goes up even in the first game against Clare, like from 2 weeks previous to the game against Tip in the league final, then the game against Clare? In your opinion, does the intensity just up a certain amount?
Definitely, yeah. I suppose like everyone uses the league as nearly a building block. Testing out new things, testing out new puck outs, testing out new players. So it's a completely different kettle of fish, really. You try maximize the league as much as you can, and take the learnings from it moving into championship. But as you said, everything ramps up 100% from league to championship, really.
And just one vital thing as well, like, you're probably one of the most experienced players in the Cork panel at the moment. There's a young wave of brilliant talent coming through the Cork team at the moment as well. What's it like being one of the most experienced players of the panel compared to your earlier days, obviously being one of the brighter young players in the panel?
Yeah, I suppose I don't really think of it like that. There's still plenty of fellas with lots of experience, and I don't think the group looks at it like that, really. When you're in there and there's younger fellas there, there's older fellas there, everyone feels like they're the same age, really. But look, it's brilliant to have that, I suppose, blend of youth and the experience. Just even for a fella, if he's a bit nervous, that he can talk to an older fella, just let him know, or I suppose techniques that work for other fellas, and that level of experience then as well, to be able to talk to the younger fellas then as well is brilliant. But yeah, so that's kind of it.
Brilliant. And yeah, best of luck, Shane, in the championship overall. Probably the whole county behind you at the moment. And yeah, thanks for your time on the podcast this week.
Thanks, Matthew. Sound.